Give them a second. Move this over here. Now I can pull her. I think they can still hear her. And now we're moving.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
It's always good to see you guys. Good morning. This is Johnny Rooster with Morning Mouth. Axe Media Group, AMG Broadcasting, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, coming at you with stuff you don't normally see, you don't normally hear. Thanks for being here today. It is a kind of a cool start to the month of June. I'm thinking about that. It's Wednesday, middle of the week, and everything's going on in the world of real estate. And we're going to talk about that with our friendly real estate agent, Niki Carter, who is a once-a-month guest co-host here on the show. Niki, hello. How are you today?
Morning. How are you?
Yep, you're right in the middle of the week, the middle of everything going on with you. Real estate is kind of a crazy thing in 2021, to say the least.
To say the least.
So
lots going on.
This is kind of fun for me. Our first time to call through this system without having you in the studio. So a new experience. I like to explore the technology and see what we have available. I'm sitting in front of a bicycle background, and then you're up there on the screen. I can see all that. A lot of chaos and clutter, it looks like, but really we're in a studio. And Niki, you're working from home, so we've got you working lately, I hear.
Yes. Lots of work. I had 3 closings yesterday and photography for 2 houses and coaching calls. So that was yesterday. Yeah, we're doing good.
I understand there's people not having access to homes. They want to buy, but there's not homes available. So how would that make you busy? I think that would slow you down. Some people are asking.
Well, the hunt for houses, that's keeping us really busy, as well as writing offers on the houses that are there. So you got to remember, we may have 100 buyers and 1 house. So you got 100 people writing an offer, but only 1 person wins. We still do the work. It's just trying to get those wins, which our team is getting the wins. So that's a good, have some great strategies in place to help you with that. And we've had more listings than we've had in a long time. It's just that they're going super quick. I will say our inventory, as far as the market update, when I pulled it up yesterday, was 1,475, give or take. And we did get down to as low as 1,200. So it is on the climb back up. The normal inventory is between 5,000 and 6,000. So you can see how low we are, but we're excited because it is climbing up. It's only climbing up by 200,000.
Now, this is all residential, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I deal in residential, so when I'm checking numbers for the residential side. Correct.
Why did this happen in the first place? The shortage.
Well, I can give you my opinion.
Is it a different word than shortage? Why did the number of buyers seem so high compared to the number of sellers? Yeah, your opinion.
My opinion, because nobody really knows the hard facts, but my opinion on that, and I think we have the same amount of buyers that we normally have. There's just isn't as much listings. There's not as much on the market. So when COVID first hit us, everybody was afraid to get out, and we were mandated to stay home. On top of that, real estate, however, was one of the essential workforces. So we were still working. People still had to move. They still had to take care of business. So what happened at that point, people stopped listing their house because they didn't want strangers in their homes. So that forced us to sell what was vacant or the few people that would let us in their home. So we got rid of all the vacant houses by selling everything. Then as things transpired, a year and a half later, people are more comfortable, right? They're letting people in. We've got options for COVID, and there's not as much inventory because we've deleted that inventory, right? So sellers, even though they're willing to sell their house at this point, they're not able to find something for them to move into. So they're hesitant to list their house because they don't want to be homeless. So it's just kind of a...
Yeah. Well, your you're thinking because of that COVID crisis, if it hadn't taken place, this wouldn't have occurred. Quite likely.
That's my,
That seems
yeah.
directly.
And we would still be lower on inventory, but not less than a quarter of our inventory. So, I mean, if we were to sell everything, we would be out of home. If we didn't put another house on the market for about 2 weeks, that saturation point, we would no longer have a house to sell.
Yeah. So you've been in real estate how long?
6 years.
So you haven't noticed this happen before, but has anybody in history thought about or talked about this occurring in the past? Like
I've not. No.
2008,
I've watched real
was
estate.
there a problem, something like that with that crisis? Anything?
There was a lot to sell in the crisis of 2008, and the simply reason for that is people were losing their homes to foreclosures, right? Because a lot of people made a lot of mistakes, really hurt our economy. And I was even watching real estate back then. So I know even myself, I was worried about the forbearance and that bringing houses on the market, but in a to lose their homes, right? We work hard to get them their American dream. So I don't believe we're going to have that forbearance crisis that we were worried about. The government has stepped up in having the banks take some measures to protect those people from losing their homes due to forbearance.
Correct. Yes, that's what I understand, that they won't repeat those mistakes or those
I hope
patterns that caused that. I'd call them mistakes, but they may be even bigger words than that for it. More serious.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, we don't want to do cash for keys. I mean, there's a coin phrase, cash for keys, and that's where, you know, the banks went out and offered people X amount of money to give over the keys and get out of the houses that they were trying to foreclose on. We don't want to do that again. I think you froze. I don't know. Can you see me?
You know, that's what we do. And you're on the list of people that I'm going to put on there and feature. I haven't figured out exactly what to say about your commercial yet. But I'm those. And you may have ideas, but you're a lot of good ideas coming from you all the time. One idea I wanted you to share with before the break is you have an idea to help people that are emergency workers in their transactions. How do you do that?
So we do have a Helping Heroes program. Can't give a lot of specifics in print, but I'm more than happy to talk to everybody on one-on-one. But essentially what we're doing is our firefighters, our police, our medics, our teachers, and left somebody out. Fire, police, veterans.
Military.
How did I leave our veterans?
Military.
So military, right? Our veterans and military, fire, police, teachers, medics. And when I say medics, that means medical field.
Okay.
Doctors, nurses, paramedics, anybody in the medical field. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And
so what we were doing,
they would get some kind of an incentive on a transaction.
Absolutely. So I've partnered up with a few of my lenders, a couple of my title companies, myself, inspectors, and we're all giving discounts back in order to give back to our heroes. So that is something that we're very excited about. My last transaction, I mean, it was that we did this with, no, it was a larger home in the price point, but they got about $2,000 back.
Well,
so on average, you should be getting around $1,000 back, give or take. So we would love to be able to talk with everybody, let you know what we're doing and how we help you. Do not go to some of the online places. They're just not, let's just say you don't have someone holding your hand to help you out, right? We'll just leave it at that.
You can actually save, you can get some money back. We're talking around $1,000 or more, helping out through the program that Niki Carter Realty has. You can also get $100 by watching and being an active listener at Axe Media Group AMG. All summer long, we're giving away $100 a week, and you want to be part of that by just being an active listener, a viewer, and liking and sharing. So you can be on top of that and be in the running to be selected. We're going to be right back after these important messages.
Enter the talent contest at Axe Fest. $10 entry, $50 to winner, Axe Media Group.
sandwich was so limited.
Your sandwich had a lot of butt.
Yes, and we're back. Those two little video spots there happen to be about Axe Fest coming up in July. We want you to all be participating, at least by watching that. We're going to have a sandwich building contest. Nikki, are you pretty good at making a sandwich?
I can make a sandwich. Remember, we have 8 kids.
Yeah, 8 kids is going to do it. You're going to have to learn something like that. So there's people that are trying for Sandwich Saint, Sandwich King, Sandwich Guru. They like to give it different names. They like to do different things. And our CEO, Jim Whining, is still, this pun, he's still whining about last year because he didn't get the number 1 sandwich. So it's still kind of a big thing going on here at the office. But I want to reach out. If you guys, anybody knows how to make a good sandwich right in front of a judge, we're going to bring in a chef and we're going to have a judge. And we're going to make this thing a big, funny deal and a big, great tasting deal too. In July at Axe Fest. We'll be keeping you posted on that. Also, a talent show is coming up. If you have something in the way of talent, it can be up to 8 minutes long. You can submit it on a video. I could see, Nikki, you could do like one of those exotic dance routines or maybe bells with the dogs or the parrots or, things in your world.
Yeah, we'll just do belly dancing or anything like that.
No
but
belly.
we can maybe make
Okay.
a sandwich. Yeah, spin plates. You get multiple things going at once.
Yeah. So that, or if you have musical ability, you can do a music competition for the talent or a non-music competition up to 8 minutes. We're going to have a $10 entry fee and a $50 winning prize. For that, it's all in the name of fun and competition and enjoyment, building your wonderful career and talent right here at Axe Fest in July. So, Nikki, going back to you, that was, I guess you said 6 years being in real estate. What were you doing prior to that to get ready for your great career and adventure in real estate?
Well, I've always been in customer service. I've always managed a lot of different things. I went back into banking at one point, worked over, and a lot of people here are familiar with Chase, so I was in the CCU department. I also took off, calls for Office of the President, so lots of responsibility there. Being able to diffuse people, negotiate, talk, those kind of things. After I left there, I was in the trash industry, worked for both Republic Service and WCA. And I know when I left Chase, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going into the trash service. What in the world? However, I will tell you this. I was never bored. And it was probably my most favorite 9-to-5 job I've ever had. Now, I don't want a 9-to-5 again. However, it was the best one I ever had.
What made it so enjoyable for you?
Just being able to work with people. I did large accounts, the industrial accounts, worked with municipalities, things like that. But just being able to get creative, to help problem solve, to negotiate things, because I was negotiating with city. Are you eating a sandwich, Johnny?
Mrs. Rooster just brought me a peanut butter sandwich on a rainbow plate with a star on it and a cloud on the plate.
Yeah. Is she preparing for the Build a Sandwich event?
Yeah, that was my cue to say this would not be a winner. White bread and peanut butter, not a winner, okay? It's just something Johnny's eating on air. And I think if it sticks in my throat like I think it will, I may be calling for water, passing out, or doing any number of things.
Doing anything? Hey, I like peanut butter and jelly.
You had an enjoyable 9-to-5, and you transitioned into your own adventure with real estate. I think
correct. So
your husband had to just say, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do? And you say real estate, check the real estate box.
Yeah. So after having a job cut twice for corporate downsizing, it was time for me to do my own thing. And real estate is something that I'd always wanted to do, kind of dabbled in it in the past, not as far as sales because I didn't have a license, but as far as landlord and flipping. And so my husband said, do what you want to do. And having the support of somebody behind me, we ran with it. So wish I'd had the faith in myself to do it long ago.
Having the support of people behind you is very critical, very necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your husband is a guy that's flexible. He's allowing you to do whatever your dream is, and you're chasing your dream.
There we go. And I love it. So I'm able to help people. And that's the big thing. You know, I like to be
And
creative. I like to think outside the box.
you said 8 kids, so you can't just say, all right, forget the family. I'm going to go full-time real estate, nothing else. You've got to juggle a lot of different things in your world.
Right. And we're building a team too. So now the kids are getting older. I can do my own thing, but I'm focusing on my team and on my clients. So
Well, you got a
that's
team,
good.
and I met Trey.
Yes.
That
You
was
have or have not?
I
You
did.
did.
We
You
had
did
an
meet.
interesting event May 1st. We had a drop from the top event, and you sponsored that. We were dropping marshmallows, pickles, cookies, donut holes, and hot dogs from a third level parking garage downtown Springfield. And the people on the street level had plastic containers. They were catching the items. If they caught the most every round, they got $100 cash. You were one of the sponsors for that event, Niki Carter Realty. Trey was there on your behalf. He enjoyed dropping the pickles and the hot dogs. They're the nasty, slimy items. He was laughing. His fiance was there. It was a great time.
Yep. He said he had a good time. I was glad he was able to participate in that.
Yeah, something different, something unusual. But how did Trey come along? What does he do for you?
So Trey is a buyer's agent for us. So that's allowed me to work more with listings. Plus, you know, when I'm working with buyers, you know, if I've got 10 buyers that I'm working with and 5 of them want to go look at a house on a Saturday, can't get to everybody, right? So I did bring Trey along just because we were busy enough. And I focus on listings. He works with our buyers for the most part. And I take care of, you know, my personal clients and referrals that come into me. And then as well as if he's not able to get in, then I'm able to as well, because we've got those times on Saturdays or evenings that we've got multiple people wanting to go at the same time. Especially in today's market, you got to be able to jump and go right now. We don't have time to wait till the next day or two because that house is going to be gone. So that's a huge thing. He is also a veteran. He's very motivated. He brings lots of ideas to the table, and he's rocking it. I mean, this is his first year. He's been in less than 6 months, and he's already got 2 or 3, sometimes 4 closings in a month. So he's really doing well. I'm proud of him.
Well, I'm glad you're building a team. Is there anybody else that you mentioned on your team? Is the 2 of you right now? What's going on?
We also do have an admin. Her name is Kelsey, and she works out of state. I met her here locally. However, she's married and ran away and chasing her dreams there. But she does everything for us behind the scenes. So she makes sure we stay compliant, make sure we don't miss any deadlines, things like that.
It's interesting. Nowadays, of course, you can build a team remotely.
Yeah. And we were doing it before COVID.
Yeah.
So one thing, you know, the company, my broker is EXP. So we do everything digitally and online for the most part. It's good.
Oh my goodness, this just in. What is the what peanut butter? No, peanut butter and then cheese. Cheese it. I'm being blessed with the best right here. This is high-end gourmet food. I'm going to have to settle on that. We're going to be taking a break here in a few seconds. But Niki, we're talking to Niki Carter, Niki Carter Realty. She's a once a month guest here on the show. I'm going to get stuck and clobbered with some peanut butter right after these important messages.
Guess who cleans for less? Who? Me? No. Him.
How do we get back into the workforce?
I got you.
Who was that woman?
I stuck in my. Okay, folks, we're back. That was great. You know, Niki, I don't know if you noticed that as I'm choking here for real, pretending. Now I'm not pretending. You were on one of those commercials for about a second, a cartoon of you. And
yes,
I see startling. That. It's kind of startling to realize, hey, that could be me. You know, that is me. You're one of the people in the cartoon just saying no, yes, whatever. But I like to use little cutouts of people sometimes to share their likeness. I have done a face morph with a couple of them where it goes from the cartoon to the actual photo of the person. And it's interesting. We're just playing around with some options. I like to express things that people aren't normally seeing. about themselves. And this is what it goes back to. About 20 years ago, I was a newspaper editor, and I was also drawing a cartoon, like maybe a political style cartoon in the newspaper, as well as writing the news. This is in a weekly paper in Ozark. Every week they would turn to that cartoon first because I would depict local people like the school board president, the mayor of Ozark, people that were local. It's not a national news source, so it's not like the president. It's somebody they know, and it's depicting them favorably or unfavorably, as the case may be, in a very political situation. So really got a lot of response, good and bad, and letters to the editor. One time, Nikki, I had 42 letters to the editor in 1 week on a weekly paper before the internet. So kind of a unique thing. We opened up the paper 2 full pages just for letters to the editor, with both sides railing against the other. So that's what the cartoons kind of started.
Yeah, that's fun. Cartoons are fun.
They're hard to unsee, as my friend Brent says. He says the human mind is conditioned. When you see something that's a cartoon, you value it higher than just a regular photograph. So, I don't know.
More effort put into it.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think highly of you, Nikki, and I immortalized you in a cartoon. There's more to come. There's other things that are happening. I want to express what you like, and so I'm going to explain to you what we're explaining to other people out there this summer. We're saying, guess what? AMG Broadcasting, known as Axe Media Group, is expressing its appreciation for its viewers by the Monday through Friday programming. We're going to be mentioning a sponsor every show for a week if they give away $100. So the sponsor gives the $100 to Axe. Axe turns around and writes a check and mails it out to the viewer. The viewers are all over the world. So that's kind of fun. I don't know what the price of the $100 is in Burundi, for example, or Zimbabwe, but I think most of the people receiving the $100 will be in the United States. That's kind of what's going to happen. It'll value that. But inside the U.S., there are probably 1,000 to 2,000 viewers that show up every 24 hours and with different times. And we're on YouTube and Facebook and 4 other platforms. So we're on different platforms. So giving away $100 a week, a sponsor could do it. Let's say yourself, you could do $100 for 1 week or $200 for 2 weeks, etc. But we'll highlight you throughout the week and talk about you on all the programs. But we want to ask the vendor or the sponsor, what do you want to do? What is your interest? One of them has their own store, but they also have stock in a football team, for example. So they want to talk about that. Another one might want to talk about a book she wrote instead of her business, her husband's business. You might have something, and I'm not saying you're a sponsor. I'm just saying I'm treating you like one because I'm giving you all this airtime anyway. I'm saying I'm generous to Nikki because I've seen how generous you are. What makes you interested as a person? If it's not just real estate, it could be something else. Was there another cause or another idea that you have personally or that you're interested in and you could support that? What do you like to talk about?
Goodness, that's a good question.
I know that's big. It's big. Like it may not be a football team or a children's book. It may be something else for you. Right.
So, the kids and I were talking about that the other day because Mother's Day wasn't long ago, and they're like, "Mom, what do you want to go do?" Or what's fun? I'm like, "Gosh, I don't know." So, because I do. I mean, my work is fun. I enjoy it. So, of course, everybody knows little Maddie. So, maybe doing something with the Humane Society, maybe doing something, obviously, like we said before, with our heroes. You're not going to have room in your belly for dinner tonight. There's a lot of sandwiches going on over there.
Mrs. Rooster just brought me what do we got here? Peanut butter sandwich. Yep, and it's Cheez-Its. Oh my gosh, I'm sensing a theme. This is called Cheap Food Piled High. Okay, everybody. Mrs. Rooster sitting on my lap. Andrea, Nikki, Nikki.
Yes.
She's talking about Maddie. She's talking about her family. She's got 8 kids.
I love Maddie. She's adorable.
She's pretty close to perfect.
Maddie is your lap dog. That's what I call her.
Yeah.
She is. She's back here in the office.
Treated like a princess.
Mm-hmm.
She's a princess. She's boss.
Well,
Very cuddly.
my sister in Southern California sent out a Christmas card one year with only the family dog, not her and her husband. It's just the dog. Truffles was the only
Yeah.
highlight on the card.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm saying dogs get too much precedence in this culture. We need to put them in their place.
No, they're cute dogs. When they're little, they're cute.
There's a dog that came over to our house because we have a gathering every week. So you're all welcome to bring your dogs. But this dog did its thing on the floor. And the owners own a cleaning business, and it's Park and Rachel Webb, and they have artfully made cleaning. They clean residences for a living. They cleaned up that dog's mess so fast I didn't even have time to look at it twice. That's how good they are.
They are good.
And that's how I promote businesses, Nikki. See how I just did that?
Yeah.
I use a real world example. It's a bunch of crap. I know. I get it. Thanks.
Well, as long as it's no longer smelly, right?
Oh, yeah. So really, I like to promote people what they like. If you like your dog, if you like something else, I like that people have interests. My interest is in helping people pursue their interests. I don't have dogs, and my kids live with their mom, and I have a quiet place if I want it. But I want people to live in their environment and bring their environment to mine. This is not something you guys going to see, but you can see it's a cutout. It's a picture of our founder, Jim, and he's a slim Jim. That's what we call him. He's slim. He slides under doors. He can get in and be a spy anywhere. But that's what I like to bring joy to people in ways they don't normally do. Oh, Niki Carter. You can't really see this, and Niki, you definitely won't. But there's another cartoon of Niki. She's at the laptop and her glasses. I like your glasses. Makes you look like a librarian. Very studious. So thank you, Mrs. Rooster. So you have a dog. You have a big dog. You have a medium dog, and you have a small dog. Medium by plump, and then you have a bird. I could call it a bird of color, but
she's a macaw. If I can get Maddie to come over here, Maddie.
Macaw. Yeah, Maddie.
Yeah, she's sleeping.
Okay, that's all right. We want the audience to know you and to like you because you're a real person, not just somebody else talking about their business. Yeah, we want to know who you really are. You really have real world pressures. Some days you feel like me, like I don't know what I'm doing today, but every day is a new challenge, and you seem like you keep landing on your feet and having another way to look at the world and overcome something. Because you've had some last night technical issues. You got slapped with a lot of stuff.
We had a bit last night. We're still doing it, but it's okay. We're kind of like cats. You land on your feet. We got 9 lives, and you just keep going. So the thing is every day there's a different challenge. And it's for everybody. This is just life, right, Johnny? I mean, it's life. It's what you make of it, and it's how you respond to it. So it's completely in mindset, and there's going to be a challenge. But you know what? Overwhelm means you're growing. So you just grow, you just learn and keep going. And if that doesn't work, you do something different. And if that doesn't work, you throw it away and start over. It's okay.
I'm going to ask you I'm going to be like Jay Leno or somebody. Are you going to get rich in real estate, Niki? For real?
Get rich in real estate.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't.
I could, but I'm going to say no. I mean, I'm comfortable, and that's really all I want to be, is comfortable. I don't necessarily want to be rich, but then rich is perception. So, some people may perceive me as rich, and some may perceive it as poor. However, I like to invest back into my team, back into my business, and we do a lot of charity and then travel. So, you mentioned some of the things we like, and travel, I would say, is where I like to spend any of my extra time. So,
and your extra money.
Yeah, our extra money. So
I like talking about money because it makes people a little less comfortable, and that's where I thrive. When people get a little murky, I'm just like, yeah, I'm perky when you're murky. We'll be back right after these important messages. Okay, that last segment was about the cleaning service I mentioned. It's a husband and wife team, Rachel and Park Webb, they have Artfully Made, MAID, Artfully Made Cleaning. Look it up on Facebook. The next one was about CASA. They are our summer sponsor, first week, 2 weeks in June. And CASA is for advocacy for children in the foster system when they need representatives in court. All right. Well, there we go. That's
CASA is very good. So we've dealt with
CASA.
CASA, as you know. They are. So 4 of my children came from the foster system. Now they're also family, so it was kind of a different situation in a guardianship. However, CASA was still involved, and CASA does a lot of good work.
Breaking my heart was the story of Dawn, who is here every week, and her nephew can't get CASA in his county. He's going back in an abusive situation, quite likely. Nobody to stand up legally. It's hard.
Yeah.
CASA
It
is
is hard.
extremely, extremely important. In fact, they're looking for more volunteers to help them out. So check
they
out
need people that-
CASASWMO.org.
Absolutely. Yep. They need someone with a good heart that just wants to listen to the kids and build a relationship. And I'll tell you, the kids become very trusting of their CASA people as well. So that way they're able to go back and fight for them.
I'm trusting of you, Nikki, because you have a lap dog and you brought it to meetings and the dog was very well behaved. That means you got everything under control. That means you've got poise and you've got class, because you have something there that adores you, that needs you, and you're not going to be too selfish to say, I don't need you, dog. Get out of my way. I'm busy. You're compassionate. Wow. I don't have that capacity. I'm like, I've got to do my thing. Leave me alone until it's done. I couldn't have room in my world for a dog in my lap when I'm trying to get something done. That's amazing to me.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. Thank you.
No, that caught my attention because you're in the meeting with a group of business people and you've got the dog. And it's not once, it's all the time you had the dog.
Yeah. She's with me. I laugh. I'm like, I need to get t-shirts that say emotional support human. Because it's not me that needs her. It's her that needs me. And she does.
You're so compassionate. You're compassionate to that dog.
She needs me. But the funny thing is that's what my life is. That's what my work is. Because in real estate, we are emotional support humans. We are there. You know, Johnny, you're trying to sell your house or find another house, and the stresses and the maneuvering everything around. We're here to support you emotionally as well as guide you in the right direction. So anyway, it's kind of fun.
I like that you say emotional support humans that's what real estate is, because buying and selling homes is an emotional event, and it's a huge event, and it's full of different experiences, from divorce to first home to moving across the country. There's a lot of emotions in different transactions with real estate.
Can you imagine moving across the country and never seeing your house that you're buying? There's been several times $200,000 and $300,000 homes people will buy. They live in another state and they've never seen them. I can't imagine that, but just that emotional side of it to make sure that they're okay.
Why do people do that? They just don't ever see it before they buy it? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, they may have a job transfer, maybe moving in for a family, and it's just not ideal to fly in to look for a house. Or maybe when they did fly in, they didn't find the house that they wanted. So they had to go back home to work, and we kept on the search.
I'm sorry, Nikki, this is really bad, because this other woman in my world, she comes in here every 5 seconds. What do you want? Trey says, ask Nikki how Maddie got her name. Trey says, ask Nikki how Maddie got her name. This is a comment we got live on the feed, so I'm responding in real time. So,
that's funny.
Nikki, how did Maddie, your dog, get her name?
So the owners that had her before I bought her as a puppy, they called her Addie, like attitude.
Addie for attitude.
Addie for attitude. Well, I didn't like Addie, so we changed it a little bit, made it more cute, Maddie. But really, I think the breeders that had her originally, they did it right. She's full of attitude. She's Addie.
Well, that's good. Tell
Yeah.
tell me one quick Trey story because he's listening. So do one good, bad, indifferent. I don't care.
Man, you're putting
I
me on the
know.
spot.
I know it's
Putting me.
brutal. I like to torture you. We
I
have 4
know.
minutes.
Enjoy it. You enjoy it. So, okay.
Eat peanut butter and listen to Trey story.
There you go. So I sold Trey I sold his mother a house. She referred Trey to me. So I sold him a house and he referred a couple of friends. So took care of them. After that process, he decided he wanted to get into real estate. So I coached him a little bit and gave him some ideas. Before he got his license, he found a job posting with another agent in town and to do like their inside sales, right? And I told him, I'm like, Trey, I said, I don't think you're going to like that over there. And he was bound and determined that that's what he was going to do, which that's fine. I mean, he didn't have his license yet, so I couldn't do a lot with him yet. And so he jumped ship and he went over there. And it was only about 3 weeks to a month later, he was calling and he's like, Nikki, you're right. Can I come do this for you? And so at that particular point, he didn't have his license yet, but we brought him in. He did some inside sales. He did some training. He got to do some learning. We got him connected with Grant Cardone training. We got him connected with Krista Mayshore training. We got his license. So he was doing all these trainings, preparing to come in even before he got his license. So, but anyway, I guess what I say is funny is on there is I think he knows now to listen.
Well, I think so.
I was right.
I think you told him the what for, and he actually appreciates you for it. And he said so to me personally. He also said that
Yeah.
you're not exactly as organized in some areas that you might need to be, but I'm just throwing that out there in the public airwaves. So there's
Yeah.
some things about you that maybe you could step up your game to match Trey's high standards too, according to Trey.
You know what? We can always step up our game. I don't care who you are, what industry you're in. There's always going to be room to step up your game. So you'll have to let me know later what it was.
Touche right back and forth. So maybe I can get him in trouble off air. I don't know, but that's Johnny stirring the pot. There, it looks like you two have a great team, and definitely he is a dedicated worker and doing the great things, learning and growing and moving on with you, for sure.
We're lucky to have him.
I want to be, you're very fortunate to have somebody like that on your team. I'm interested that you were able to build a team remotely and locally. My parents built a team remotely and locally by adopting my sister from Korea and a sister locally. So they built a team with their family. You built it with your employment, with your vocation. What's your next couple years look like before we wrap it up? What do you say you're going to be doing the next couple of years, focusing on?
So really our focus as far as real estate is making sure that we help, obviously, all the families here that we can. Between Trey and I, we want to help 100 families. In that process, we're going to be bringing a few more people onto our team. And then you said something about locally and far away as well. So once we kind of get everything nailed down here and get our team grown to a few more people, maybe 5 on the team total, I'm going to be opening another group in another state. So we're just deciding on which state, which location. So we're going to be expanding.
You may consider Florida.
I have considered Florida.
Okay.
And North Carolina. Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's good because Nikki is a support human if you need an emotional support human. She's also a real estate agent, a mother of 8, a great sandwich maker. She's probably better than Jim Whining all day long when it comes to sandwich making. Better than Andrea even. In fact, this sandwich, I ate so many, I just don't even remember what they taste like. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you on Friday. Thanks, Nikki, for being here. See you later.